To understand, it's a straightforward text messaging app and it's called Allo. It's tied to your phone number instead of being tied to your Google account. That means that anybody with an iPhone or an Android phone can sign up and start using this to do text messaging without having to deal with the rest of Google if they don't want to. It's mobile only though, it'll only work on the phone that you set it up on. Now, as a text messaging app, it's pretty good. It's really straightforward. It's fast, it lets you send messages, it lets you send emoji, it lets you send stickers. It also does a few really neat things. So for example, if you're typing out a word and you want to scream the word, you can drag your finger up on the little send icon and the word will get embiggened and you can send it. Or if you want to whisper a word, you can drag it down and it'll send a little tiny word. You can send photos, of course. They're full bleed on the screen and you can even draw on them to annotate them, which is kind of neat. So all in all, seems like a really straightforward text messaging app. But putting it inside of this chat app and into also a living room device eventually too. So inside of Allo, when you want to, you can just talk to Google as one of your contacts and you can ask it questions and you can have a conversation with it. So that's all pretty standard chatbot stuff. We've seen it before in Messenger and other apps. But what's interesting about Allo is that Google can join a conversation that you're having with your friend. So say your friend sends you a picture of a graduation photo, then you can tap an automated reply saying congratulations because Google recognized that it was a graduation photo, which is crazy and also a little bit creepy, but Google promises that they're not storing the contents of our chat logs on their servers, they're just analyzing them and throwing them away. Google participates in your conversations with your friends in other ways. So for example, in the demo that they showed us, somebody said, do you want to get Italian food? And then one of the suggested replies was search for Italian food. And then in the conversation, it showed a restaurant that you could go to, you could agree on a time, and you could even book it in OpenTable right there in the chat. Now, the thing about the Google Assistant inside Allo is it's not quite as like crazy Wild West as you might get on Messenger or even in Skype with Microsoft or even Alexa on the Amazon Echo. They do work with third-party developers, but it's not everybody can just jump in and make stuff on this just yet, though Google says that's coming. So if you're talking text messaging apps, you probably also want to know about the data security. And Google says that it encrypts on the wire for standard conversations and it doesn't store your stuff on their servers. But if you want to get even more secure, you can have an incognito conversation. And that encrypts it on the wire and also end-to-end so that the only people that can see your conversations are you and the person you're talking to. But there's one more thing. There's another standalone app. It's called Duo, and it is probably the fastest video chat app I've ever seen. So Duo, like Allo, is based on your phone number. So you can use it on iOS or you can use it on Android. But on Android, it's actually really clever. If you call somebody, you open up the interface, you just tap the face to call, very simple and straightforward. But on the receiving end, they actually see a video of you live while it's ringing so they can answer the phone and just immediately jump into the conversation. It's a very bare bones interface. There's not a whole lot to it, but there is a whole lot under the hood. So Google says they've done a ton of work to reduce the latency on the video. It uses WebRTC if you want to be a nerd. And it also can seamlessly switch between Wi-Fi and even relatively crappy cellular networks without dropping the connection, or in a lot of cases without even stuttering the video. So that's Allo, that's Duo, and that's Google's new virtual assistant. And all three of those things work really great, and they work really great together. But you know, I don't